Okay, I am driving home from work, but I want to go ahead and record this video. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. I just recorded it just now and it ended up being too long, and so I'm going to try to redo it and shorten it up. Okay, so the Lord wanted me to speak about being unequally yoked. 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, "Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship does righteousness have with lawlessness? And what communion does light have with darkness?" Okay, so when we think about being unequally yoked, we usually think about like in a romantic relationship or marriage, but the Lord says that it is for friendships as well. And I believe I may have done a video about this in the past, but he's bringing it up again, so I am going to I don't know how long ago it was. Okay, so he says it's for friendships as well, okay, and people we are close to. If you feel like you are continually giving and giving and giving, and others are continually taking and taking and taking, and you are being drained, and you are being stabbed in the back, and you are being trampled on by people, the Lord says it's because you have decided to be unequally yoked with people, that you are throwing your pearls to the pigs, and the situation needs to change. You will continue to be in this cycle if you continually throw what is holy to those who are not holy, okay? It talks about that in Matthew 7:6. It says, do not give what is holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, or else they'll trample them and then they'll turn and attack you. Okay, I believe that's paraphrasing it, but so he's saying that if you are continually feeling like you're being used up, that you need to stop throwing your pearls to the pigs. There is a different standard that we live by, okay? We can't understand why people treat others certain ways because we have such a higher standard. It's ingrained in us, and it's like in our mind. I can't even comprehend why someone would do that. Like, why would someone act that way? Because the Lord has given us such pearls and such high standards in our life and in our heart and in our soul, that we would never treat someone in that way. However, the Lord says the world does, because the world is self-serving. The world is self-serving. So they will not regard your pearls. They will not regard you in a respectful manner because they want to get what is, everything they can out of you for their self-benefit. And so this is one of the reasons why he doesn't want us to be unequally yoked, to protect us. It is for our protection. It is also because, when we are hanging around people who are not of God, things that are going on in the spirit for them tend to transfer to us. That's why you see people getting sucked back into drugs when they're hanging out with certain people. Because even if they were delivered, things if you're hanging out with a certain person, it pulls you back in. The spirit that's on them pulls you back in, right? So we need to protect ourselves from being around these people. I'm not talking about ministry, okay? If the Lord has called you to minister to the unbelievers, you do that. Obey, okay? But there's a difference between ministry and opening yourself up, opening your soul up to someone, and attaching yourself to them, investing your time and energy and emotions into someone, okay? There's a difference. The Lord said that someone is feeling very brokenhearted over loss of purity, and it may have been like something that has happened several times, but the Lord says He is restoring your purity. You cannot get into a mindset of nothing matters anymore, because whatever's done is already done. Nothing matters anymore. Once you're in that mindset, that's when habitual sin starts. Okay, so you cannot let the enemy pull you into guilt and shame and nothing matters. You have to move forward. Trust Jesus. Trust that He is restoring you, and He will restore you completely. And you are to move forward and not look back. You are to not look back. Okay. How do we, he talks about how the lukewarm, He will spit them out of His mouth. That's how disgusting it is to Him. Those who claim Him, who use His name and then live in the world and act like the world and talk like the world, and there is no difference at all between the lukewarm Christian and the world, and He will spit them out of His mouth. We can't deceive ourselves into thinking that we're hanging out with the right kind of person just because they claim God. Okay, the Lord says we do not know them by, He doesn't say that we know them by their words and what they claim. He says we will know them by their fruits. So look at what they are involved in. Okay, look at what they're involved in. Look at how they treat others. The Lord says, I was like, Lord, sometimes it's still really hard to distinguish between a lukewarm and a real true believer, because sometimes they're not involved in crazy worldly things. And he said, look at what they laugh at. Take notice to what they laugh at. That tells you a lot about who a person is. When I was in the world, I used to think things were funny. Now, those same things are disgusting to me, because the Lord's Spirit has changed my heart on the inside. I can't laugh at the same things I used to laugh at. He said, you will know a lot about a person by what they laugh at. So take notice. He also wanted me to bring up that someone is worried about what other people think of them. And he gave me this analogy. We are on a path. As human beings, we are on a path, okay? Then you look at the ant world. They're on a path as well. They have their whole life. They have a goal. They're working, they're building, they're working. It is two separate worlds. Our world and the world of ants, okay? Two separate worlds. Do we really care? Okay, sorry, they just stopped right in front of my car. Okay, do we really care what an ant thinks about us? The Lord has you on a path. Okay? The Lord has you on a path. It is not the same path as others are on. And there should be no concern about what they think about you, because there's so much of a difference. There is so much of a separation that he has, that it does not matter. Just like the separation between the human world and the ant world, we don't care what ants think about us. Ants don't care what we think about them. You know, there's so much separation there. The Lord says that there's no reason to worry about what they're thinking, okay? He also mentioned that there could be boundary issues with some people that need to be set up, especially with those who are involved in lukewarm with lukewarm people. Okay, there needs to be boundary issues set up. There's not boundary issues. There needs to be boundaries set up so that you can start getting back on track and close off the doors to being infiltrated by the enemy. Okay. I think that is all I have. So let me pull into my driveway, and then I'm going to read these passages again real quick. Okay, Matthew 7:6 says, "Do not give what is holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before swine, or they will trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces." Do not, 2 Corinthians 6:14, "Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship does righteousness have with lawlessness? And what communion has light with darkness?" I hope this has helped someone, you guys. I love you. And until next time, have a good evening.